Alright guys, what's going on? Steven here, and today we have our APA Academy Week 6 battle versus Austin, aka GarchompTheGod. His team, got it for you right here. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying team. He's got the Coco, this Mega Scizor, the Gren, the Celebi, the Darm, Flygon, Hawlucha, Palossand, Diancie, Porygon Z, and the Marini. So right off the bat, Coco Lucha is just not fun to play against, not fun to prep against, not fun to even look at. Like, it's a disgusting combination. On top of that, Mega Scizor does really well against basically everything on my team. And the Greninja is a massive problem. But either way, we did what we could. We built as best we can, and I think I am prepared to take him on. First off, we have Barbie the Toxapex with the eject button, Regenerator, Scald, Recover, Haze, Gunk Shot, max physically defensive to take on the Darmanitan. I'm predicting like a Life Orb Darmanitan set. It's really hard for him to be Choice Scarf in this matchup, and he outspeeds non-Scarf Landers anyway, so there's no real reason for him to be Choice Scarf. I feel like he's really going to value switching up moves, as well as the Life Orb damage on Toxapex with like Earthquake is going to be something he would want. We have the eject button for our next Pokemon. Trifecta, the Choice Specs, Magnet Pull, Magneton. With Hidden Power Fire, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Flash Cannon. Enough speed to outspeed, I believe, Adamant Scizor. Maybe. That might be wrong. I think that's right. Max Special Attack and 44 HP. This Mon is not great versus most of his team, but it's really good against Scizor. And Scizor, the rest of my team struggles with a lot. So, the name of the game, basically, for this battle is how fast can I bait in Scizor with, like, Landorus or something, and then get my eject button pecs out into Magneton. If you guys don't know how U-turn works with the eject button, is if he U-turns and hits my pecs, the eject button is going to pop, pegs will be switched out into anything I choose, and Scizor will not be switched out. So obviously that's why, you know, we're going for this strategy, because there's nothing he can do to outplay it unless he runs Baton past Scizor, and I do not see that happening. Next up we have Panther, the Choice Scarf Landers with Intimidate, Earthquake, U-turn, Fly, Defog, 196 HP, 164 attack, 4 defense, 60 special defense, and 84 speed with a Jolly Nature. This set lives I believe it is Expert Belt. It's an Expert Belt Coco HP Ice after Rocks. It lives an Expert Belt HP Ice Coco after Rocks, and it lives a +1 no item acrobatics from Hawlucha after Rocks. So perfectly lined up. We were able to take both of the hits after Rocks, as well as it has enough attack investment to Oko Greninja after Rocks with a standard Earthquake. Earthquake U-turner there, obviously, for just, you know, stab and momentum. Fly is there because, I needed to hit Hawlucha with this thing, and Stone Edge really didn't have the PP. He could honestly just, like, roost all Stone Edges because he'd outspeed me. He could lose his flying typing, stuff like that. And the only way Fly doesn't work is if he has Sub, and I don't think he can really fit Sub onto the set if he brings Hawlucha. So I felt like Fly was okay, as well as Fly's just good, neutral, big damage coming off Landorus, base 145 attack stat. Next up we have Dream Boy, the Musharna, Leftovers, Synchronize, Psychic Moonlight, Trick Room, Healing Wish, max HP, 204 defense, 52 speed F with a bold nature. The special defense is there because with this investment I take 2 Coco Thunderbolts into Rain, after Rocks, always. And then the defense lets me kind of scout out Darmanitan. Like if I'm in on this and I just click Moonlight and he clicks Flare Blitz, I'll know if he's like Scarf or if he's like Life Orb damage. So, and then Trick Room Healing Wish is kind of, so he has a lot of things that are fat. A big problem with this team I had was struggling with like his speed tiers and how his speed tiers, everything was really fast on his team, all of his offense. So if it comes down to maybe I break down like his walls and he has like Greninja, Tapu Koko, like Hawlucha left, I can get Musharna in, I can Trick Room and then Healing Wish into my Mega Pinsir. Now, Mega Pinsir naturally outspeeds Koko, or naturally underspeeds Koko, Greninja, and Hawlucha. So if those like are his 2 of his last 3 or 3 of his last 4, something like that, I can go for the Trick Room, and then I can kill Koko with Earthquake, Gren, and Hawlucha with Return. As well, if things that would underspeed me are still alive and they're low, Quick Attack will still go first because priority in the Trick Room. So this is like a late game win con. Or if we kill his offense, Pinsir is still faster than his slow things and able to break it down that way. So either way, Pinsir is going to provide a good amount of valuability in the late game for us this game. And last but not least, we have Cuddles the Kamo, Odin the Rosella Berry, Bulletproof, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Flamethrower, Drain Punch, 244 HP, 20 attack, 116 defense with an Impish Nature, 124 special defense, and 4 speed just because our defenses are really, really, really specific. So Kamo is our Darmanitan switch-in most of the time, kind of. So Darmanitan's kind of an issue. I gotta kind of pivot between like Landorus, Pex, and Kamo based on what I think he's gonna do. So this Kamo set specifically lives. It is never 4-hit KO'd by Life Orb Flare Blitz from Darm. I think it's actually never 4-hit KO'd by Choice Scarf Flare Blitz from Darm, but Life Orb Darm, we still heal it off with Drain Punch, as well as we take a Dazzling Leaf from Koko because of the Rosella Berry, and we always take 2 Ice Beams from Gren. Now the coolest calc that I have on this set is that if it's full health Kamo versus a full health Greninja, we take an Ice Beam, we Drain Punch, we get our recovery back, and it puts us just out of range to take a Dazzling Gleam from Koko after the Gren dies to Drain Punch. So Kamo is a fantastic defensive option this week. I know the Dragon Fighting typing doesn't really lend itself to be a defensive option, but it's actually better than you'd think. So we can go ahead and we can get into the game here. As you can see, he didn't bring the Hawlucha, but he brought the Mega Sizzler, the Tapu Koko, the Gren, the Diancie, the Darmanitan, and the Porygon Z. And I will be the first to admit that I was really under-prepped for a Porygon Z. If he was an Normalium Z, everything on my team just died. Like Agility Normalium Z, or even just like Scarf Tri-Attack put in so much work versus my team. So looking at his team, I know that Scarf Landers is a fine lead. The only problem would be like a Scarf Koko, but I always live that HP Ice, and a Scarf Gren, but if he leads Scarf Gren, I'll scout for that. So he's going to lead Mark 6, and that's going to be the Scizor. So my plan of how fast can I bait in the Scizor is looking good because turn 1, the Scissor's already in. We're going to get our Intimidate off. And I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to go for the free U-turn. And if he stays in, I'm going to go right into my packs. I'm going to pop my eject button, and we're going to go for the Magneton Trap right off the bat. So, as you can see, he's going to stay in. He's going to Mega Evolve. I'm going to U-turn, and I'm going to go right into Toxapex. And after Pex comes in, you guys are going to see that he is also going to go for U-turn. And we got a little surprise for him when he does this. He's going to see an item pop. He is going to force us out with our eject button. We're going to go into Trifecta the Magneton, our choice specs Magneton, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to click ourselves a nice hidden Power Fire. And the Scizor is going to drop, what is that, turn 2? Turn 3? Something like that. Turn 2? So the Mega Scizor that gave me fits and fits and fits in prep is gone in the first 2 turns of the battle. So now he's going to go into Darmanitan. I think a Flare Blitz or a U-turn is coming. I'm going to go out into Kamo. Takes both of those pretty well, but he's actually going to go for the Earthquake. Predicting the Pex, that's fine. Not a big deal. Kamo is going to take about 40, 35, 40 from that. But Darmanitan has a really, really high HP pool, so he can't knock us out with anything. And we're going to go for the free Drain Punch. He's going to go for U-turn. That's going to do just about nothing to me. Okay, we're back. Alright, so he's going to go into his Diancie. As I just go for the Drain Punch, try to get some HP back. We're going to do a good amount. And we're going to go back up to 116. So our Kamo is a little weak, but Here, I just think he's going to stay in and click rocks, so I figure I might as well trade. I don't need Kamo too much because it is weakened, and Darmanitan is never able to outspeed my Landorus. So I figured Kamoa's health wasn't as important. If he did opt to take me out with the Moonblast, that was just okay. That was okay. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Now I'm going to switch out, obviously, and I'm going to go into Barbie, our Toxapex. And he's going to go for the Moonblast. And that's going to do a good chunk. So I calc, and he ends up being like modest Diancie, so Earth Power would have done a lot here. But he does switch out as I click the Gunk Shot, kind of thinking like Coco or Gren or this would even come in. So I wanted to get like a good amount of damage off because I didn't want Pex to be like a passive do-nothing mon that gets set up on. So I do go for the Gunk Shot, and we do just about half after Rocks and Gunk Shot to Porygon Z, so that's good. We kind of set the tone that nothing is coming in on Pex for free. Like, we're not going to just let it sit there and get taken advantage of. So I'm going to go out into Kamo. I'm especially bulky. If you went for the Nasty Plot, obviously I was dead. But if you went for the Agility, there's a chance I live. But he's going to go for the Ice Beam, and he's going to take us out here. Not a big deal. Kamo's going to drop, but we still have Pex for Gren. We still have Scarflando for Coco. Like, it's not the worst. And we got our rocks up. So we're going to go into Magneton after this. I know I live any one hit, barring Normalium Z. But if he's Normalium Z, he has to kind of just show it off right there. As I click the Volt Switch, Diancie's going to come in. Diancie's going to get brought really low by this Volt Switch. I'm just going to go ahead into Lando, and I'm going to click Earthquake. So the Diancie is going to go down. He's not going to save this. We're going to get off our Intimidate. Doesn't matter. He's Clear Body. So we go ahead here, and we click our Earthquake, but he ends up being the Shucka Berry. Doesn't matter. He's too low at this point. It does not make a difference. I actually don't know how much he took from that Shucka Berry. I still feel like even with Shucka Berry, he took a lot. Landorus is really strong. So he's going to go into Kakashi the Gren. I know that if with a little bit of bulk, there's a chance I don't kill this, and there's also a big chance that he is Choice Scarf. So I'm going to go right out into my Toxapex. We're at full. There's nothing. And if he shows off like that he's Life Orb, I gain that knowledge and I can kill him in Landorus later. So he's going to go right for the Ice Beam. And our Pex is going to take very minimal damage. And then he's going to switch. So it basically confirms to me that he is Choice Scarf because he didn't take Life Orb and he didn't go for like extra sensory damage or something like that. Just not what I was going to do. Either way, I click Gunk Shot because, again, I don't want anything coming in for free. We're going to get some big damage on this Darmanitan and we're going to poison him. Now, if I didn't get this poison, he lives on that amount of health. I probably would have gone Landorus on an Earthquake. I might have just recovered. I don't know what I would have done, but we got the poison, and he died to it. So it doesn't really make too big of a difference. At this point, I think Scarf Landorus was in a great enough position to where he just had to sack every time it came in. Either way, he's going to go Coco on our Toxapex, and I'm going to go into my Magneton as he clicks Hidden Power Ice for predicting my Landorus to come in. Not going to do very much to Magneton at all. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Volt Switch. Thunderbolt in the terrain never kills me. As you can see there, it does not. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch, and Choice Specs Volt Switch in the terrain from Magneton is actually going to take this Coco out with a crit. The crit didn't actually matter because even if he lived, I just went Landorus and he had to pick something that died, whether it was Coco or whether it was Gren or whether it was PZ. Like, it didn't really matter. It just made the end game a little bit easier. And when I say made the end game a little bit easier, you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. So he's going to go Greninja. I obviously cannot let my Landorus die to this thing because I'm almost positive it's Choice Scarf at this point. So we're going to go out and we're going to go ahead into Toxapex. The worst case would be like extra sensory. He's just going to go for the U-turn and do just about nothing. So he is going to go into his Porygon Z. At this point, he only has the Porygon Z and the Greninja left. He's going to come in, and he's in Gunk Shot range after that round of rocks. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Gunk Shot. It's my best play. And he's going to Thunderbolt and Electric Terrain. We're actually going to live on 2. So Toxapex is an amazing Pokemon. This thing is so bulky. This thing takes any hits from any Mon. It's just an incredible Pokemon. I'm actually really happy that I got to try it. That's what I do like about this format, the whole 3 different drafts thing. You can try things you've never used before and not be committed to them for like an entire season. You're only committed to them for 4 weeks. So if you don't like them, you don't like them. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch out to get some regen on our Toxapex, and I'm gonna sack the Magneton. Now here's where like that crit kind of sucked for him because I don't have this as a sack, and I have to sack Toxapex to the ground. But even it doesn't matter. Even if he went for Dark Pulse and I sacked my Toxapex, I know that he's locked in a Dark Pulse, and I know that Pinsir lives a Dark Pulse, so I can go ahead into Pinsir, and I can click Quick Attack twice to avoid any flinch chances he may have to bring himself back in the game. And we're going to Quick Attack twice, and we're going to pick up the knockout on the Gren and the win over Austin. As you can see, just goes for the Dark Pulse, so basically confirms he's Choice Scarred because he would have gone for Ice Beam, would have gone for the Super Effective. We're going to go for a second Quick Attack, and we're going to finish him off. And we're going to pick up the 4-0 win over Austin, and we improve to 6-0 in APA Academy. We have 2 more weeks with this draft. I think it's a lot of fun with this draft. Using Landers is really cool. I like Magneton a lot. Even Mega Pinsir is just an amazing mon. Next up, we have week 7, and we play my boy Silver Smasher and the Floridian Typhlosions. He is actually the only other unbeaten team left in APA Academy. We're both 6-0 going into the battle. Spoilers if you haven't, kept up with him. He is 6-0. So it's going to be a really, really fun one for you guys next week, and I will see you all back here for it. Peace.